Okay, Perk. Let's get into this. Is the Suns season a failure?
Hell yeah, it is. No other way around it. No other way around it. Soon as they traded for Kevin Durant, the minimum was Western Conference Finals. And speaking of Kevin Durant, right, let's talk about him for a minute. Kevin Durant goes to battle with people on social media than he has in the postseason the last 2 seasons. Kevin Durant hasn't accomplished a damn thing when it comes down to the postseason since he left Steph Curry. I don't know what the hell is going on with Kevin Durant. I don't know where his mind has been at the last 2 postseasons, being swept by Boston, and the performance that he put on in the second round against the Denver Nuggets. He basically only showed up for 1 game. Hell yeah, this is a failed season. When it comes down to it, I know you didn't have CP3, but you did have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, one of the best duos in the game today. And DeAndre Ayton, I understand he didn't play last night, but hell, he tapped out since game 1 because Jokic was cooking them. So when you look at this team and you look at what they gave up to get KD and Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and all those damn picks, hell yeah, this is a failure. Another way of ending your season in a smackdown, in a blowout, in back-to-back seasons, yes, it's a failure. All across the board. I don't give a damn what Giannis say.
I hear you, Perk, but I can't give you that. I can't give you that. They played less than 25 games together, and I understand. I completely understand you giving credit to who Kevin Durant is, and he's supposed to be add water, Western Conference Finals at a minimum, or championship. But this is a team that didn't come together, and you even said it when they came together, that they were going to be tremendously top-heavy. I think it's a slightly different conversation if you're talking about 2 of the best two-way kind of guys, but you know that KD and Book's prowess is on the offensive side of the basketball, and you literally just did not have enough bodies down the stretch with the injuries to Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton, as you pointed out. And in addition to that, the sound that KD opened up this series with when they lost game 1. They didn't lose to the 8th seed that got through the play-in if you put Miami on the Western Conference side. That's not what happened. This is the number 1 seed in the Western Conference and a team that has been dominant all season long. So they ran up on the wrong ones, in my opinion. So I'm not ready to call this season a failure. You knew you had an opportunity, but this trade was not about this year only. This is about opening up the window, the portal, the doggy door, whatever you want to call it, in a Western Conference where we saw nobody outside of the Nuggets really wanted to separate themselves. So I think you've got a couple seasons. James Jones and them got to go re-up that bench in a way that will matter and make this team formidable. But I'm not ready to call this a failure by any means.
Well, let me ask you a question. Okay.
Talk to me.
People, not me, have been on record talking about that Kevin Durant is the best player in the world.
That would be me.
Healthy. Okay.
That would be me.
Yeah, and it's not just USA. And second of all, Monica, I wasn't one of those people who was high on the Phoenix Suns when they acquired for. Okay, okay, so cool. Yeah, but everybody else was. Everybody else was. Actually, they were the favorites. My thing is, when you start putting that label on people about being the best player in the world, you're supposed to rally guys that's around you. I didn't watch LeBron James rally teams with less talent, didn't have a Devin Booker on this side, and carry a team to the NBA Finals. Period.
Well, let me chime in here. Because the person that needs to be responsible for all of this is me. I've religiously said when Kevin Durant is healthy, I believe him to be the best player in the world. But when you bring up that last component that Kendrick Perkins just brought up, I have to be fair to a LeBron James. If LeBron James, although he averaged 29.5 points in the series, shot 22% from three-point range, and closed out back-to-back appearances in the playoffs, get put out of there, all right, in unceremonious fashion, we would be all over him. And so because that's the reality, we have to be fair. If Kevin Durant is that dude, then you're also that dude that has to be held accountable for what you didn't do. Now, what I will say to you, Eminem, where you and I side, I do not consider this season a failure by the Phoenix Suns, Kendrick Perkins, because of CP3 injured and DeAndre Ayton. Oh, my Lord. Now, they say he's injured. We have to go with that. But all I know is that before that injury was announced, we saw a dude that's a big, just a big tub of lard, I mean that affectionately, that can't jump onto a curb,
So
that can't run faster than snails, okay, with arthritis, and they don't get arthritis. And we saw that brother outrunning DeAndre Ayton for a few games, up and down the floor. Now, we learned that he's got this rib injury. It may have compromised his breathing. God bless him. I hope he's healthy. But that same Nikola Jokic was averaging 35, like 13 and 10, a triple-double on 57% shooting and like 44% from three-point range. I mean, just giving them the business, busting his living you know what. So DeAndre Ayton goes down, and you got some dude named Jock Landale playing in the middle. It's like, damn. Now, don't get me wrong. They didn't have to go out like that. And I think that's what we're talking here. If they had lost a closer game last night, like Karen Payne said, it's just a bad look. It doesn't look good because this is back-to-back seasons on their home court. The Phoenix Suns have been sent home with losing by 25 or more. They lost by 25 last night, and the score was much worse than that. They lost by 33 last year to Dallas. The score was much worse than that. They were down by 30 at the half in both those games, and now this happened on Kevin Durant's watch. There's no way around it. But the flip side is when you got your point guard and you've got your center that are both out, and we didn't see Phoenix's bench until 2 games ago, it's kind of hard knowing you're going up against the number 1 seed to sit up there and say it's an abject failure. It's just hard for me to say that based on that. I will say this quickly. Devin Booker, the light-skinned Mamba, and I don't give a damn how bad his game was last night. I still feel that way about him. Devin Booker, the brother averaged 37 and 4. 56%, 57% shooting from the field, 54.8% shooting from three-point range this series. You were spectacular up until the last 2 games. You can't get sent home and then don't want to talk to nobody. You were talking to people when you were winning, and all of a sudden, you get embarrassed again. And Kevin Durant, who's new to this, he's new to this team. He wasn't there last year when y'all got y'all ass kicked by Dallas. Why is Kevin Durant talking to the media, but we don't see Devin Booker? Come on, D. You're supposed to be better than that.
I'm with you, Stephen A. But Perk, I think the takeaway for me in all this, particularly if you center this thing around KD, is you get caught up when you short the process one way or another, right? You look at although KD was phenomenal and was a toe away from taking out Giannis in them 2 seasons ago, right? Like, that was a team that went on to win the title, so there's that. Last season, the ups and downs with the Brooklyn Nets, and then the Celtics come along, they end up going to the finals. This year,
they swept them.
Correct.
Don't leave it out.
Yes, they swept the Brooklyn. Yeah. Thank you, Perk. This year, you come up short, having played less than 25 games together. I just think the reality, I still think KD is one of the best players in our game. He's probably one of the best scorers. I'm not willing to go there on the LeBron thing, Perk, just because I think LeBron's skill set was a little bit different. And I got to go back and really dig into those teams that LeBron ran into, because I opened the conversation talking about the two-way nature that's
Eminem.
Not there.
You're wrong, Eminem. You're wrong, Eminem. We would hold LeBron James accountable. I love KD.
Yes.
I respect the hell out of him. But we would hold LeBron James accountable. I want to hear about no style of play and how their game is different. If you're a superstar, you're a superstar. And if we would hold a superstar accountable.
But
if
LeBron, for the season, though, y'all. LeBron was with teams for
Phoenix Suns are the real problem because they